Guys, we have an urgent breaking news coming out. Millions of Americans are being told more shutdown consequences coming soon. All right, so people need to start prepping spiritually, physically, and mentally. Not only that, guys, this more breaking news coming out. The FAA issues a ground stop at New York LaGuardia Airport. All right, we definitely seen something here, guys, and this is the tip of it. All right, so we're gonna see what's going on with these news before I start. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. All right, so I want to go with this one really quick here, guys. J.D. Vance said a federal judge can't tell the president how to run a shutdown. All right, I posted a video early today. The judge told Donald, you got till Friday. You better pay up. Give all the money, the SNAP benefits, to the 42 million. And it's mind-blowing that you have a judge telling a commander-in-chief how to do his job. Man. All right, but J.D. Vance, he put, he responded to that. So let's see what's going on with this one.
President, a federal judge said tonight that... Thank you, Mr. President. A federal judge said tonight that the administration has to fully fund SNAP. It's the latest in a back and forth, and the Justice Department said they're going to appeal it. What's your message to folks as they work this out in the courts and in Congress as we're heading into Thanksgiving?
You want to go over that?
Yeah, look, Jackie, it's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown, which what we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other good things for the American people. But in the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation. We're trying to keep as much turned on. We're trying to keep as much going as possible. The president and the entire administration are working on that, but we're not going to do it under the orders of a federal judge. We're going to do it according to what we think we have to do to comply with the law, of course, but also to actually make the government work for people in the midst of the Democrat government shutdown. If they would like to end this, we would welcome working with them to end this government shutdown, and then we wouldn't have to triage what we're going to fund and what we're not going to fund. And the last thing that I'll say is the American people are unfortunately about to start suffering some very real consequences because of the shutdown. Wow. In the past, when you had a government shutdown, you would have under the Obama administration, they would lean into all of the problems it was going to cause for the American people at the beginning of the shutdown. The president has told us to keep as much going as humanly possible. But after 30 days of this thing, 40 days of this thing, you're going to start seeing very real travel delays. That's because the Democrat government shut down. You're going to start seeing SNAP benefits run out. That's because the Democrat government shut down. They should stop this charade and open up the government. That's what we want them to do. We've been asking them to do it for 40 days. It's time.
And you know, one other thing, our country has to remain very liquid because problems, catastrophes, wars, could be anything. We have to remain liquid. We can't give everything away based on a number. Here's an example. When I was president, the number that you're talking about was a tiny fraction of what it is now. Biden went totally crazy, gave it to anybody that would ask, gave it to people that were able-bodied, had no problem. Anybody that would ask, we get the number. And it's many times the number of people are on. This wasn't meant for that. It was meant for people that had real problems, in many cases, people that were down and out, people that could be saved. It wasn't meant for people that could do whatever they want, the people that say, well, I don't think I'll work, I'll just, collect this money. Take a look at the number of what it was during my administration and what it was during the Biden administration. It went up many, many times my first term.
Okay, so Vance, he really responded, put out some really good stuff. He said, first of all, a judge cannot tell us how to run a government shutdown, and it's absolutely true. And And second, it's not us that's shutting it down. It's Chuck. Chuck is shutting the gov down, and he did it 14 times. So again, people need to understand that it's not Donald shutting down the gov. It's the other side, the left. And now again, you had the vice president mention that this thing's gonna hit the fan. It's gonna get really bad. It's gonna get catastrophic. I mean, we're talking about consequences here, and that's this news here I want to bring to you guys. Very important news, giving you guys a heads up here of what to come, what to expect from this huge situation when it comes to the gov shutdown. The question is, why, Chuck? Why? Because you want your illegals to get the money and stuff like that? You're going to hold Sleeping Giant hostages because you're not getting the money to take care of millions that pour into our Sleeping Giant? Unbelievable. And guess what? The people are still going to go for him. Again, it's just mind-blowing. I guess, in the end time, what's good is bad, what's bad is good. People love evil, and it just mind-blowing. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Once again, guys, do me a favor, share this video. If you can, share it on your YouTube post or Facebook or Twitter. Give this video a thumbs up. The more thumbs up, the better. All right, thank you so much for your support. So the vice president took a swipe at the left amid the ongoing federal government shutdown on Thursday, saying in part that while the administration has shielded the American people from the worst of the consequences, all of this is coming soon. The federal gov shutdown is having escalating and widespread effects on critical U.S. services with direct impact on the airline industry, federal workers, and essential operation nationwide. The VP, the vice president, has warned that additional potentially severe consequences, such as major travel disruptions, are imminent if lawmakers fail to resolve the budget standoff. Airlines, unions, and officials continue to express concern as service reduction and furloughs spread across core functions of Gov. As partisan gridlock persists, the nation faces a growing risk to public safety and economic stability. Man, this is America. We're not supposed to see stuff like this, man. All right, so on Wednesday, the Federal Aviation Administration announced air traffic will be cut by 10%, and at 40 major U.S. airports starting Friday, November 7, due to deepening staffing shortages caused by the ongoing Gov shutdown. Thank you, Chuck, for shutting the Gov for the 14th time. He shut it down. He did. Let me see. Give me a second here. Who shut down the 14 times?
Want a front row?
I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second here. It won't say. It won't say. So, you guys already know it was Chuck that shut it down 14 times. Unbelievable. And again, it's Google. Give me a second here. Did Chuck Schumer All right, so for some reason, guys, it's not even popping up. That's mind-blowing. These are the latest one here, though. Senate votes down GOP last stopgap for 14th time. That was Chuck. Chuck did that. Schumer pushes shutdown into record books after rejecting the GOP bill a 14 times. So Chuck is the one that shut it down. But they don't want to say it. They don't want to say it. They don't want to say it. But again, it's basically there. It's right in front of you. But they don't want to say his name. That is crazy. All right, so once again, the shutdown continues. We already know this. We're going to skip that part. Taking to X, J.D. Vance said, what the left are doing on the Gov shutdown is generally unprecedented. And while the administration has shielded the American people from the worst of the consequences, all of this is coming, and soon. An aviation emergency that will lead to significant travel delays for all Americans. Vance continued with his list, food stamp, and other assistance program running out for needing Americans. Great strain on our military and national security. The shutdown has now passed from farce into tragedy, and the consequences of this national emergency fall on every senator and congressman who refuses to open the Gov. Wow. So what people are saying? Well, the U.S. president on Truth Social on Wednesday said that the left are causing millions of sleeping giant citizens who depend on food stamp to go without benefits. They're forcing federal workers to go without paychecks, and they're stranding thousands of travelers at airport. Now you have D. Stephen Voss, political science professor at the University of Kentucky, to Newsweek via email on Thursday said last news cycle the parties were highlighting food stamp and trying to blame each other for the funding lapse. This news cycle is about transportation, but the basic question that the American public needs to answer hasn't changed. Are the left wrong for letting the Gov shut down in their attempt to reverse the so-called Big Beautiful Bill? Or are the right wrong for refusing to undo their work now that they need the left vote to end the shutdown? The problem is that the left wants stuff that doesn't make any sense. All right, they want to give money, a lot of money, to those that came into our sleeping giant illegally. I mean, again, Donald's saying no, it ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna add that to the bill. It ain't gonna happen. Voss continued, what we out to be watching is whether the administration is trying to build up the sense of crisis to a fever pitch as a prelude to Republicans ending the Senate filibuster. Now, the public tends to dislike the filibuster rule because it prevents majorities from getting their way quickly, but it's one of the only remaining features of the American Gov that requires the parties to cooperate, which is something that the public also claims to want. If Senate rules change so that the majority party can start passing legislation without compromise, that will have a lot of more impact on American public policy than anything being debated right now. All right. So a lot of this stuff here, I'm just going to skip, but you guys get the picture. It's just, there's no dialogue. There's nothing going on. And at the same time, millions are going through struggle. Thousands are not receiving their paycheck. The right are now up against the left in their face. So to speak on affordability and economic hardship, with the left having momentum given what just happened on Election Day, and the U.S. commander suggesting that the shutdown is hurting the right. So what happens next? Well, the timeline for restoring normal federal operation and flight schedule depend on a resolution to the funding standoff in Congress. Both parties remain entrenched with no immediate negotiations scheduled to reopen the Gov. Once again, this is not looking good. And now we have LaGuardia. Situation is not looking good. Whoops. Let me fix this, guys. Here we go. Flights at New York's LaGuardia Airport were temporarily halted on Thursday evening due to staffing shortages caused by the ongoing Gov shutdown, according to the Federal Aviation Administration. Very bad news for millions upon millions out there. The FAA issued a ground stop until 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, meaning no flight could depart for LaGuardia during that time. Officials said that the move was necessary to manage air traffic safely, as fewer controllers were available to handle operations. Now it says here the airlines across the U.S. on Thursday started canceling hundreds of flights after the Federal Aviation Administration ordered a reduction in air traffic at major airports due to the ongoing Gov shutdown. According to FlightAware, nearly 700 flights scheduled for Friday have already been canceled, and that number is expected to rise. Can you believe that? 700. The FAA plan affects 40 of the nation's busiest airports, including major hubs like Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Los Angeles, and Charlotte, as well as multiple airports in New York, Chicago, Houston, and Washington. Man, this is not looking good. The FAA has instructed airlines to cut 10% of flights in high traffic markets to ensure safety, as air traffic controllers face growing pressures amid staffing shortages caused by the shutdown. Now it says here, airlines scrambled to adjust schedules. American Airlines said it has reduced its flight schedule by about 4% from Friday through Monday, canceling roughly 220 flights per day. Other carriers are expected to make similar cuts as they coordinate with the FAA. Passengers with upcoming trips are uncertain about whether their flights will operate, with many opting to change or cancel plans ahead of time. The reductions will begin Friday and gradually increase to meet the FAA's 10% target. Wow. So tomorrow we're going to hear some big breaking news. More flights will be canceled. This is not looking good, especially with the holiday season. This is not looking good. And Chucky, he needs to... Give me a second here, guys. Multiple people at Joint Base Andrews fall ill after suspicious package delivered with white powder. That's crazy. Give me a second here, guys. I just found this information. I want to see if I could pull up something here. Yeah, that was not too long ago. Give me a second, guys. It says here you have a major security scare unfolded at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland on Thursday after a suspicious package containing an unknown white powder was discovered, prompting evacuation and leaving multiple ill. Now, according to a statement released by Joint Base Andrews, located just outside of Washington, D.C., a building on the base was evacuated after an individual opened a suspicious package. The discovery triggered an immediate lockdown, with adjoining building also cleared as a precaution. Wow. All right, so it says here, as a precaution, the building and connecting building were evacuated, and a cordon was established around the area, the statement read. Joint Base Andrews first responders were dispatched to the scene. Determined there were no immediate threats and have turned the scene over to the Office of Special Investigation. An investigation is currently ongoing. Now, sources told the news that several personnel who came into contact with the package fell ill and were rushed to the on-base Malcolm Grow Medical Center for treatment. Their condition remained unknown. Wow. A hazardous material hazmat team was deployed to the site to examine the contents of the package. Preliminary field tests did not detect any immediately hazardous substances, but officials said further testing is underway to determine the nature of the white powder. Now, the hazmat team did not detect anything dangerous in the initial test, but the investigation remains ongoing. A source familiar with the probe said. Now, the room where the envelope was opened and located within the Air National Guard Readiness Center remains sealed off. Authorities have not yet disclosed how the package reached the base or to whom it was addressed. Officials said investigators are also looking into whether the envelope contained political propaganda materials, though the exact content has not been publicly confirmed. Hazmat team departed the scene Thursday evening, and the base remains under restricted access while the Office of Special Investigations continue to lead the inquiry. Wow. All right, so once again, several fall ill at U.S. military base after delivery of suspicious package. Man, that's very sad. All right, so give me a second here, guys. And it seems like this is all the information here, but a suspicious package was found. That's mind-blowing. And not only that, guys, there was someone that actually passed out in the Oval Office. There's been some stuff going on. A lot of strange activity happening. Wow, look at this here. Look at this news. The FBI director, Kash Patel, said we arrested a look at this, ISIS-linked suspect in the Michigan terror plot. The update on the alleged fold the T strike, I'm using code words, out of Michigan last week. Earlier this week, the FBI and partners, they cuffed a sixth subject in connection to the case. Now, this time out of Washington State. This was another individual allegedly providing material support, inspired by ISIS. Now, partners continue to do an outstanding job, and their decisive action has undoubtedly saved many lives. We keep you updated as we're able. All right, so once again, big shout out to FBI director and all the people that's been doing an incredible job stopping these sleepers or these gangs or these really bad people. Wow. So everybody's talking about it now. Give me a second here, guys. Everybody's talking about the package. Suspicious package at Joint Base Andrews sickened multiple people. Man. I'm sharing all these information right now on my Twitter page. The link will be in the description box. This is crazy. Mind-blowing. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna end it here. I'm not seeing anything else. Just want to show you one more thing here. A judge orders the U.S. Commander-in-Chief Administration to pay November SNAP benefits in full by tomorrow. Man, how you gonna do that? Man, I'm giving you 12 hours, man. That money better be in people's pocket by tomorrow. It goes to tell you, I mean, it seems like the judge has more power than the president. Also, guys, we do have some more breaking news. There's the Northern Light. Oh, hold on. Here we go. The Northern Lights. The Northern Lights illuminate the sky across 22 states tonight. At the same time, guys, I did talk about this yesterday, but I want to bring this up one more time. And it says here, the U.S. reveals new stealth nuclear missile on Cold War bomber, the second show-off force in a week. All right, we don't want to see that thing flying over the U.S., all right? What happened? Again, what happened? That thing just falls off. All right, guys. So I guess I'm gonna end it here. I'm not seeing anything else. Guys, me and my wife went to Starbucks because my wife want to get those little tiny, the teddy bear stuff, the cups. I'm like, what are you talking about? So everybody's going nuts with this thing, right? And it's sold out really quick, and people just want it. So now you could, again, people selling them online for $400. Are you crazy? Starbucks launched its 2025 holiday menu this week, featuring new and returning drinks, but the star is a $30 barista cold drink mug shaped like a honey bear with a green silicone beanie, already reselling on eBay for up to $400. Now you could find these at Target. Don't tell no one. But again, I was told that you could, again, Target has them. All right. So if you go to Target, and Target, they do have, some of these Target has Starbucks. If you go into Target, tell them, hey, I want the bear thing. Let me get 4 of them. So I'm kidding, guys. But they do have them in Target. But it's going to run out really quick. is going to be sold out ASAP. So you may want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I don't know what time Target open, but you may want to wake up early in the morning and get one of these bears. Again, if you guys like them. But this is where we are right now, guys. This is all the breaking news. I'm going to end it here, but check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. Have a good night, guys. God bless you all. Till next time later. Peace.